What's up, YouTube? This your boy Big Boy Facts Johnny TV. Tonight I'm gonna do my AEW Dynamite review on highlights. You guys new, hit that like button. It helps YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to my channel if you are new. Tap that notification bell every time I premiere a brand new video on the channel. And follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch down below in the description. And let's get started. Now, AEW Dynamite was a good show, and that's all I have to say. I'm just gonna give you guys the full article by reading the full information. That's all I gotta say. Tonight on AEW Dynamite, Bryan Danielson makes his ring debut against the World Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega for a non-title competition in Stadium Queens, New York. So we get match card number 1: Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega. This match was good, but this match itself should have been main evented of the show. Alright, but anyway, this was a good match. The bell rings and the crowd erupts. They lock up and Kenny chops him at the ropes. They reset and begin a grapple game. Hard kick and chops are exchanged. It's an even match up, but Kenny focused on the back and spine of Bryan Danielson, and Bryan Danielson is worn down. Bryan Danielson's chest is bright red as he gets a thumb to the eye. Kenny Omega goes for his leaping moonsault, but Bryan Danielson gets his knees up. Chop to Kenny in the corner. He hits a leaping lariat. Kenny is worn in the corner as Bryan Danielson hits a calf kick before he delivers a series of yes kicks. Top rope Frankenstein 1-2 no. Kenny Omega hits a hurricanrana and does a leaping senton over the top. The two men trade pin attempts, and Bryan Danielson with a castle molation. Kenny Omega puts his foot on the ropes. Kenny rolls through the entryway, and Bryan Danielson leaps off the top with a flying knee. Yes kick on the entryway. Kenny ducks one and hits a snapdragon. Both men are down. Bryan Danielson gathers himself against the ring ropes on the ramp, but Kenny Omega charges at him with a V trigger. He nails it, and we head to commercial break. Now I like that they head to commercial break. A match on the right side and commercial on the left side, so I like that. Back from it, Kenny Omega buckle bomb Bryan Danielson and then hits a massive missile drop kick from up top. 1-2 no. He looks for another snapdragon, but Bryan Danielson rolls him up. 1-2 no. Kenny knees Bryan Danielson in the neck. Kenny is going for an avalanche snapdragon. Bryan Danielson holds on and crunches Kenny on the turnbuckle. Bryan Danielson hits an avalanche back suplex. Both men are down. Bryan Danielson gets up at 6 and they duke it out. Bryan Danielson with some Terry Funk jabs. Knee strike from Kenny. Bryan Danielson nails him with a back suplex bridge. 2 count. The crowd is going nuts. Kenny Omega is going down. Bryan gets cut off at the pass, but Bryan Danielson is set up top. Kenny Omega elbow Bryan Danielson and looks for an avalanche snapdragon. He nails it. Kenny covers 1-2. Nope. Kenny Omega signals for a V trigger and he hits it. He goes for the OWA one-wicked angel, but Bryan Danielson reverses a hurricanrana out of it. Kenny Omega goes for a V trigger, but Bryan Danielson evades. Roundhouse kick by Bryan Danielson. He fired up. He goes for a running kick. Kenny Omega bombs him. V trigger 1-2 kick out. Kenny goes for the big wrist Phoenix splash, but Bryan Danielson rolls out of the way. Bryan Danielson is up. He gets a flurry of kicks. Kenny elbows and strikes are traded. Big roundhouse shot by Bryan Danielson. He stomps away at Kenny. Bryan Danielson goes for the Libel lock, but Kenny makes it to the ropes. Bryan Danielson hits a knee. Hits a knee. V trigger. Kick or trade, and both men are down. Time is running out. Both men do get out on their knees. Kick from Bryan Danielson. Kenny Omega fights back, and the bell sound as they brawl on their feet. Bryan Danielson goes for the libel lock, but the Elite comes in to make sure of Kenny Omega's safety. Time limit draws. That match itself was fantastic, but good match, right outcome. The time limit draw right here. That's all I gotta say. But good match. The Bucks attack Bryan, but Jurassic Express comes in to clear the ring. So Christian Cage was out there too. But anyway, let's move on. After the break, out comes CM Punk. He says he's sure glad he's not wrestling on Dynamite. How do you follow that? He says it's been a long time since he or pro wrestling have been in New York City. People say they want the old CM Punk. He says be careful what you wish for. He calls out Hobbs and Team Taz. He tries to meme mug, but he can't help but crack a smile. What does he have to be mad about? Well, Team Taz tricked him. Yes, it pissed him off, and yes, he's mad about it. But when his music hits, and that's when his anger goes away. Yes, he's happy. Yes, he's happy. He's happy to see the fans. Of course, he thinks what they did or attempt to do is take all this away from him. They didn't want to see happy CM Punk. That's when he gets really pissed off. It's been so long since he needed wrestling, and now he's pissed off because nobody is going to take this away from him. This is once again. Punk tells Hobbs should have finished the job. He made a mistake and let him live. He slept on the legend of CM Punk and his job to tuck his what in. Rampage Powerhouse Hobbs goes to sleep. After the promo, CM Punk goes out and hugs Stephen A. Mel at ringside. This was a good promo by CM Punk. Good promo. Match card number 2. MJF versus Brian Pillman Jr. This was a decent match. MJF goes for a handshake, but Pillman tackles him Bengal style and punches away as the ref tries to separate them. MJF pokes him in the eye. Back body drop by Bryan. Turns the tide briefly until he gets hit with a throat chop. Pillman nails some knife edge chops. Bryan frames a back body drop attempt and tricks MJF. He gets slapped, but Pillman fires back with one of his own. MJF begs him off, only to drop toe hold him in the corner. MJF gets control. Bryan avoids some attacks. Pillman hits a backslide for a 2 count. Short arm closed by Pillman, but MJF sends him down to the canvas. We go to break. MJF is in control until Pillman hits a leaping crossbody. Bryan favors his arm, but Pillman nails a thirst kick before repeatedly slamming MJF's head into the corner. Bryan Pillman nails a power slam for a 2 count. Bryan goes to leap onto MJF from the outside, but MJF pulls Julia hard in the way. MJF soon grabs hold of Julia, and Bryan drop kicks him. Bryan goes for his air Pillman back in the ring, but MJF catches him for his salt of the earth center ring, and Pillman is forced to submit. The winner of the match, MJF. This was a decent match. We see Jericho and Jake Hager with Alex Marvez. They ready to snack on some meth heads in the Big Apple, baby. So we get Malachi Black versus Cody Rhodes. And I question this. What was Cody wearing? Cody Rhodes' ring gear looks terrible. It was just terrible by Cody Rhodes. His ring gear looks terrible. But can we all agree that Malachi Black has one of the best entrants in AEW, and that's facts. But anyway, just had to put that out there. But anyway, Cody starts off hot, but Black does sear the ring of him. Brandy rolls and sits cross-legged across from Black, mooring him. She flips him off and tells him, you know what. Black soon gets sent to the outside. Cody climbs up top to leap at Black from the turnbuckle to the stage, but Malachi Black catches him with a knee, and we head to picture-in-picture. Back from the break, Malachi Black catches Cody with a black mask, but Cody falls to the outside. Cody is down, and Black tries to pull him up back in. No dice. Cody answered at 8 and hits a chop block on Black. Cody goes for a dragon screw, but Black frees himself until Malachi Black gets caught with one over the ropes. Crowd is booing Cody. He continues to work the leg of Black. Black hits an elbow. Had kick and Cody goes for a crossroads, but nothing doing. Malachi catches Cody for a pop-up slam. Soon after, Cody goes and hits a cutter crossroads 2 count. Arn Anderson is on the apron and Arn slips. He gets back on the apron and Cody runs into Arn Anderson. Cody checks on him and Arn yells at him to get back in. Cody gets Black back in the ring. He slugs away at Malachi Black in the corner. Paul Turner tries to pull Cody off who elbows Turner. Black sprays him with a miss and rolls Cody up. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, Malachi Black. We cut to a video exchange between Miro and Sammy Guevara. Sammy will challenge Miro for the TNT title next week, and when he wins, Sammy will buy Fuego del Sol a new car. Match card number 4, FTR versus Sting and Darby Allin. This was pretty good for what it was. FTR comes out in NWO themed trunks as a mind game for Sting. Sting and Darby comes out with new face paint. Darby starts it off, but gets the tag to Sting for a big pop. Stinger gets a tag, but lays FTR down before delivering a series of body slams. FTR corners Sting after he missed a Stinger splash and attack him. Snap leg drop by Dax for a 1 count. Sting downs Dax as he deadly headbutts Hardwell to the groin. Darby gets the hot tag for a series of coffin splashes. Darby goes to leap onto the outside, but FTR catches him and sends him hard into the ring post. We go to break. Back from break, Tully is aiming to wipe the face paint off Darby, but Darby evades. He makes the hot tag to Sting. He nails a spine buster on Dax, gets a near fall. Dax hits a hard shot that Sting to the entryway. They go for a top rope, but double team driver on Darby. Sting stops him and hits top rope crossbody 2 count. Lots of back and forth going on with some exciting spots for the game. Sting. The finish comes when Sting gets the Scorpion Deathlock on Dax. Cash tries to pull Dax to the ropes, but Darby nails him on the apron with a coffin drop. Dax taps. Alright, so the winners of the match, Sting and Darby Allin. So we get the main event of the evening, AEW Women's World Championship, Ruby Soho versus Britt Baker. This was good. This was a good match, but this should not have been main eventing. The only thing that should be main eventing was Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega, and that's all. And that match itself should have been main eventing. But anyway, this was a good match, by the way. Good match. 2 women trade momentum until Britt goes to the outside. Jamie Hayter and Reba try to play interference, but Ruby Soho leaps off the top onto two. Britt comes from behind and attacks Ruby. We go to the final picture-in-picture. Back from the break, Britt had a focus on Ruby's shoulder, but Ruby turned the tide with a crisp thirst kick. Punches are traded between the two fighters. Britt goes for a lockjaw, but Ruby rolls free. She gets a sling blade. Britt Baker gets a sling blade for her efforts. Reba puts the gloves on Britt. She went for a curb stomp, but Ruby grabs hold of her knee. Britt tries to free herself. Ruby catapults her into the corner. Ruby hits in insecurity. Ruby Soho comes up top and nails a senton 1-2 no. Soon, Britt hits a rolling neckbreaker and thirst kick for a near fall. Ruby is down as Jamie Hayter looks frustrated. Ruby Soho catches Britt up top. They battle on the ring ropes for a suplex attempt. Britt hits the avalanche air raid crush 2 count. Britt Baker is standing on the steps and goes to kick Ruby. Ruby catches the leg, but Britt slams her head off the steps. Britt nails a curb stomp on Ruby Soho. Kick out at 2. Ruby rolls up Britt. Kick out. Ruby Soho hits her Pele finisher, but Reba and Jamie Hayter interfere. This allows Britt to recover, and she locks in the lockjaw. Ruby Soho taps. The winner of the match and still your AEW Women's World Champion, Britt Baker, DMD. And AEW Dynamite goes off the air. Alright, like I stated earlier, AEW Dynamite was a good show, and that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed my AEW Dynamite review and highlights, please drop a like on this video. I have to see you two out of Reddle. Also, subscribe to my channel, tap that notification every time I premiere a brand new video. Follow my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, my TikTok, and Twitch down below in the description. And tomorrow I'm going to stream MK11 on Twitch tomorrow, so make sure you guys come to my stream on Twitch and give me a follow on Twitch. Make sure you say hello to me on Twitch. That way I know you're there. But anyway, I will be streaming Mortal Kombat 11 on Twitch tomorrow. So that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great night. Tell me down below in the comment section what you guys think of AEW Dynamite tonight. I always say, I've been saying this, AEW Dynamite was a good show. That's all I gotta say. But let me know. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Twitch for MK11. And I'll talk to you guys later. This your boy, Big Boy Fact Shiny TV. And now I'm out of here.